The hottest college radio station, 88.1, the station with the nonstop hits. Also, the station that loves to support local talent. And you are listening to a segment of Late Night Local Talent here on 88.1. Make sure to submit your music if you are interested to get on at latenightLocalTalent@gmail.com. And today in the studio, we have a very special guest here right from Akron to promote his new single, Centerfold. Please welcome
LuvAbstract.
Yeah.
I wish we had a sound effects button. I would so press it right now.
Yes, and that's spelled L-U-V,
Abstract.
just to make sure that's
no
correct.
space in between that love
Absolutely.
and abstract.
All one word, in case you get confused.
So you're actually from Akron,
Yeah.
right here, but how
Hometown
does it
boy.
feel to be back home? Because you've been away for a little bit. You were actually in California just recently.
Yeah, I go to California like maybe once or twice a month just to record and work out there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it out there, but Akron is home.
That's kind of smart, though. I
Right.
know everyone that immediately just wants to move to LA or to
Yeah.
California, that's so expensive. That's pretty nice to take a trip once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's kind of, at least for me, it's like the smarter situation rather
Mm-hmm.
than just going out there and living out there.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can make more songs and afford to make more songs if I'm not paying $2,000 in rent out there.
Exactly.
So I just go back and forth.
Does that really count as like a trip though? Because like at the end of the day, you're going to handle business.
That's
which
a
is like make
business
music.
trip.
It's
Yeah.
a business trip. So.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This trip that I took last week was actually the first time I would say it was like a fun trip because
Mm-hmm.
once we were done making like 4 or 5 songs, we went out to like Malibu for the weekend. And
nice.
so this is my first real quote unquote fun trip to LA.
Now,
but
do
yeah.
you usually just set everything aside and until you get to California, that's when you start making music? Or do you ever make music while you're here as well?
Yeah, so I have a production team out there called the Wavies.
Yes,
and
those are them, my boys. Shout out to Jordan,
I'm
Jack.
so out of the loop. I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
Jack
Well, yeah,
and Jordan
fill
are the
'em in.
Wavies, and
They're from Akron, too.
Yeah, they're from Akron, and I would argue in like my generation of musical people coming up, they
Mm-hmm.
were kind of like the top tier people and top tier producers. And
Shout
they-
out to No Limits.
yeah, No Limits was their first name. They were like signed. They were touring when they were like 16
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And yeah, I linked up with them, and we have like a strong relationship. They got signed and they moved out there, so I go out there to like make the music with them, and then
Mm-hmm.
I come back here, write it, record it, ship it back out to them to finish it,
Mm-hmm.
and then repeat. So
What's it like working with them? Because I feel like you guys all have the same kind of energy.
yeah.
And just because I know them personally as well.
Yeah, they're my brothers. It's such a easy and cohesive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how to articulate music that well. Like I'm a writer more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I'll be like, do a fluttery thing with this song, and he'll be
No,
like,
no.
I know exactly what
Yes.
you mean.
Give me that spider sound. I got it. I got
Yeah,
it.
no, exactly. And there'll be sometimes where I won't know how to say anything. I'll be like, it's that thing, and I will literally say that, and he'll be like, yep,
Yep.
and just like throw it in there. So it's really
That's
fun.
a good dynamic.
Well, obviously you're
Yeah.
doing a pretty good job of articulating if he knows what you're
Yeah.
saying. So
Right,
you're doing something
right.
right.
Exactly.
Okay, I need to go boop, beep, 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 bada bop, pow.
And done.
All right, now you got a
it.
hit. Now you got an album.
So it sounds like you guys were probably cooking up some good stuff
Yeah,
this
that
past.
good.
Yes. Anything special coming up then that you can probably conclude to that
I
maybe something
don't-
good might be coming out?
I do not have an album or an EP coming out,
Uh-huh.
which was, I feel like, the question that you're
Mm-hmm.
asking. I typically just throw out singles,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got signed to a label last year, so
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh, get the
okay.
bag.
Made
Get the
in
bag.
Akron,
Okay.
Millie
Look at
Rock
that.
on it.
But before I got signed to Bonfire, I was just putting out singles every single month,
Mm-hmm.
and then through that, I kind of got a local buzz, and then an international. Then I met them, and now we're gonna start that over at this like next level. So now I'm gonna start releasing singles with them, hopefully to kind of push me off to the next level. But I'm at least a year or two away from putting out like a full project.
That's
So
what's up.
you mentioning that you were signed, I do have to ask because it's a big thing going on right now that either staying an independent artist or being signed to a record label or signed to a label. So what
Yeah.
made you end up partnering with a label then?
So my partnership with Bonfire is very independent in itself. Like I
Okay,
make
fantastic.
everything. I
Complete
like
creative control and
yeah,
all that.
completely creative control. I budget everything. It's all out of my money, and basically I give it to them, and I'm like, do you want it or not? But like.
And they said yes, and then we signed you.
Yeah. Well, I'm technically not signed, but they sign over each project, and they
Gotcha.
have like first right of refusal. So like, if I make a project, I can shop it out to anybody, but they typically want to hear it first, and if they want it or not is their thing. But yeah, it's really nice because if they don't want it,
still
I
you.
can release it. I can do
Right.
whatever I want to it. Go with another label, but yeah, they're a good family. They like what I'm doing so far. So yeah.
Now, the interesting thing I find is when you would tell people, for example, that you're an artist and that you make music, I'm guessing people usually think off the bat R&B or rapper.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
R&B or rapper. But you make pop music.
Yeah.
And you make good music, too.
Yeah, it's
good
great pop music. Like, it sound like, okay, because when I was listening to him, I'm like, all right, this is dope.
Tell your
like,
reaction when you sent Centerfold. And
Okay.
we all listen to this.
All right, so here's what happened. So it was me, Anastasia, and this other guy, Shadiddy, who we know, right?
Okay.
And we was listening to it, and Anastasia was like, yeah, here's LuvAbstract. Here we go. And so we played it, and then we heard that whistle. We was like, all right, okay.
We were like,
And then in the beat drop, you was like, boom, and the centerfold. I love your flaws. I love the ball. I was like, wait a minute. Hold up. Okay, who is that? Because, like, what I love the most about that song, the song that I'm talking about is called Centerfold. But, like, what I loved about that song is not necessarily the sound.
Yeah.
Well, I love the sound, too, but I love the feel I got from that song. Like, I just felt happy.
you.
Like, it reminded me of summertime. Like, it took me back to, like, summertime, like 09, and like I'm like about to get ready for high school. Like that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
the minute I heard it, I was like, this is a radio hit. This
Right,
just
that's what
sounds,
she's saying.
This just sounds like, I was like, the minute I heard this, I said, this is ready. It's radio ready.
Right,
yeah.
It's something.
The
and
song
it,
wasn't even over yet.
and it reminds me so much of, honestly, Bozzy. What I thought
Yeah.
kind of Bozzy sound. And the more I listened to your music, and I was like, the first time I even heard Bozzy on the radio, I Shazammed him. I was like, what is this? And the minute I heard your song, I was like, people would love this. I feel like people are really getting into pop, and it just
And it's
sounds
positive.
It sounds
Yeah.
so radio ready. So tell us a little bit about Centerfold, because we're about to hear the single here in a minute.
Yeah, Centerfold was about a relationship that I was in a while ago, and it's pretty much a conversation with me and that girl. So the first verse of it is talking about all the things that kind of annoy me about her and the relationship, and the second verse is kind of like, what are my flaws that are in the relationship? And the hook and the pre-chorus and everything, that's kind of saying, but our flaws make us perfect. And yeah, so
I feel it like, you know, you whatever you can't do, she can do, and whatever she can't do, you can do. And at the end of the day, you guys balance each other out and make
Exactly.
something beautiful, which is a relationship.
relationship, Centerfold.
I love the whistle in it. Can you give us a
Imagine it.
sample of the whistle?
I
Can you
can
remember
try.
it?
Yeah, I can try.
Get
Don't
you some,
judge me on
get
it.
you some water in it.
There's a lot of autotune on that, and it took me like an hour to do it in the
Okay,
studio.
let's hear it.
All right.
Fantastic. Yes.
Fire.
We're about to play that single right now, Centerfold. We got LuvAbstract here in the studio for Late Night Local Talent. Before we hit this track, where can they find you on Instagram, and where can they find your music?
LuvAbstract everywhere. LuvAbstract.com, Instagram, Twitter, LuvAbstract. Spotify's my main source, but I'm on
Yeah.
Tidal, Apple Music, all that.
I'm
You're
really
on
glad-
Tidal Music?
You're
I
on
think
Tidal?
I think I am. Maybe not. I might have lied.
All right, we'll fact check that after.
I'm really glad you spelled it out because like that.
Yeah.
'Cause
L-U-V.
I forgot your name is spelled L-U-V because I
Yeah.
was looking you up. I'm like,
Where's
is
love,
he?
L-O-V? Yeah, it happens.
Fantastic. Well, here is the new single from LuvAbstract called Centerfold. Make sure if you guys want to request this any other time, we do have it up at our station. All you got to do is hit that line 330-972-8888. Here is Centerfold.
You make me go mental, I crash this window and smash these windows, yeah. And when we be fighting, the loudest siren is when you go silent, yeah. And out of anger, I guess you don't know me, I guess I'm a stranger now. And out of your blindness and out of my kindness, nothing's your fault. Every little bruise, everything you do, everything you choose. Every little scar makes you who you are, baby, you a star. Every little blush, maybe you should stop with the Photoshop. Cause you're perfect, I hope you notice. Top of the page, missing a fold. You got flaws and you got faults, but I love them all and nothing more. break promises, I swear. Cause promises always get broken. So pay attention to how people hold them, yeah. But I'm an optimist, I say positive, I swear. I'm not trying to get all your hopes up, but I'll be trying my hardest to hold them, yeah. Every little bruise, everything you do, everything you choose. Every little scar makes you who you are, baby, you a star. Every little blush, maybe you just stop with the Photoshop. Cause you're perfect, I hope you notice. I walk that page, missing a fold. You got flaws and you got faults, but I love them all and nothing more. Hey, hey, I walk that page, missing a fold. Your heart is gold and you got soul. That's all I need and nothing more. Everything you do, everything you choose. Every little scar makes you who you are, baby, you a star. Every little blush, maybe you just stop with the Photoshop. Cause you're perfect, I hope you notice. I walk that page, missing a fold. You got flaws and you got faults, but I love them all and nothing more. Hey, hey, I walk that page, missing a fold. Your heart is gold and you got soul. That's all I need and nothing more.
Back here on Late Night Local Talent on the hottest college radio station, 88.1, your girl DJ Stasia on the MICs, along with DJ King Simba.
What's going down, y'all? It's your man, King Simba.
And today, we have a very special local artist right here from Akron, here to promote his new single, Centerfold, LuvAbstract.
What's going on, y'all? It's LuvAbstract.
Spelled L-U-V abstract. All one word.
One word.
Yes, and if you just
I
missed...
see that confusing some of y'all.
Absolutely. And if you just missed that single, don't worry, we have it up at the station. All you got to do is call up 330-972-8888 and request that song, Centerfold, by LuvAbstract. They can also find your music where?
On the internet, on Spotify, on Apple Music, everywhere.
Yeah.
LuvAbstract.
You know, he's doing his
outside.
shot.
You
Go
can-
outside.
You can find it.
Awesome. Well, I want to, have our listeners connect with you a little bit better. So I have a speed round of some questions for us to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
So first of all, what is the best anime?
Death Note.
Okay.
I've seen that.
Boom.
I've seen that. Okay, does Dragon Ball Z count as an anime? Because I've had that debate multiple times.
Technically it's an anime. I guess the real question is it a good anime?
It's a great anime.
And I think it's like the worst thing in the world.
Ooh.
Let's
Me and
talk
you were
about
gonna
it.
fight.
Let's talk about it.
Ooh.
All right, here's
No, I'm
my problem with it. It takes 16 episodes to do one thing in that entire series.
That is true.
And it makes sense because like the reason that happens is because they're trying to keep up with the manga, which is the comic book version of it. So if they catch up to it, they can't go anywhere else.
I was about to
There's
say.
no more
So
storyline?
yeah, so they just do these filler stuff.
But
and
there's no reason why the Frieza fight should have lasted a whole season.
Exactly.
There's no
I'm
reason
not
why
trying
30
to-
episodes should have been Frieza and just them screaming.
so
But I
you
get that.
understand why I think it's trash.
It's not trash though. It's still awesome. Okay, so who was your childhood crush?
Liz Sane, what up, girl?
Who's that?
Liz Sane is just a girl. I don't know.
Oh.
Are we talking
okay.
about like just like in high school and middle school and stuff?
I mean,
I
like
mean-
celebrities.
Oh snap! Liz Sane, don't listen to this. Ah, God.
It was childhood anyway. You
yeah,
know,
it wasn't
you know,
childhood.
It's a
It
child
was. It was
thing.
like middle school. So
Right.
I don't even know where she's at now. But yeah, I love that girl in eighth grade.
Probably because she gave you a chance.
Oh, that hurt. My childhood crush.
Celebrity crush.
Celebrity
Let's
crush.
clarify that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I have a crush on Tinashe. Like,
dope.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
dope.
she's cute.
Okay. A girl that can sing or a girl that can dance?
Ooh. A I'm gonna say sing because I would assume that means that she.
But you can sing. You need someone to dance.
Okay, then I guess I need to go.
I wasn't trying to convince you. I just wanted to know from you.
Can't sway public opinions.
yeah.
Anastasia.
I wasn't trying to
This is
sway.
my
I was just
opinion,
giving
alright?
my opinion. Okay. Well, anyway.
But I mean, like, I would assume that somebody that can sing, like, knows a lot about music, like I do, and like, I need to have that connection. You feel me?
Right.
Someone who loves
So,
music
ladies.
just as you. I
Yeah.
see you. Okay. Cereal or the milk first?
Yo, I put the milk in first.
Yeah, the
People-
door's right there.
People think I'm like a
The door's right
sociopath.
there.
But all right, so
Cut his mic off.
literally
Right.
everybody.
Interview's over. No,
Yeah. Hold on.
Anarchy.
Everybody's like, no, you put in the cereal first.
Yeah.
But if you put the milk in first, the cereal like doesn't get soggy as fast.
But how do you know how much milk to put in depending on how much cereal you have?
I mean, like
That's
we're
like, how
all
do you
adults.
measure how much milk you need for how
Everybody
much cereal?
here is probably at least 22 years old. That means you've had 22 years to figure out how much milk you need in a
Wait,
bowl.
you said you don't like it because it's the cereal that gets soggy? You
Yeah,
said?
it gets soggier faster when you pour the
But
milk on
that's
top
the thing.
of it.
Like, you gotta do like milk enough that like half the cereal is up above the milk, so you still get that crunch.
But
But
it
then
still,
also
like, goes
below.
through.
Anyway.
You know what? I'm done.
All right. If we looked in your music profile or whatever music app that you use,
Yeah.
what were the last 3 songs
Let's
or
see.
artists that you listened to?
We can pull that up right now.
I was listening to DMX earlier. I was mad for no reason.
You
Well,
were
obviously,
mad
if you're
for no
listening to
reason.
DMX.
One more road to cross.
Stop, drop, jump down, open on shop. Okay, so my first one is George Watsky. I'm pretty sure you guys have never heard of him.
No.
He is a poet that started to like rap a couple years ago. He
Oh,
was like one of the
wow.
first YouTube viral kids. He was like the white kid that raps fast in like 2005.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, yo, what?
Yeah, and like he just started like actually making real music outside of his like poetry and stuff. So that dude. Callion Fox, not sure if you heard of him either. He is another YouTuber. The Wavies actually produced for them, so I was listening to that. And then I got Vic Mensa.
Oh,
I know that
yeah.
is.
There we go.
Oh,
Now we got
yeah.
somebody.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
I know
Vic-
him because he went on a huge rant about R. Kelly. That was hilarious.
Yeah, no,
that
he's
was hilarious.
he's wild.
All right, last question. And since you are from Akron, describe Akron in one word.
Home.
Oh, that was a quick answer. I like that.
Sound effect. Aww.
Aw.
So how long have you been making music for?
I've been making music since I was 16 years old, so like 11 years now.
What made you start?
I don't know. Like straight up, when I was 16, my friends they were in a band and they were like, "Yo, we need a singer," and I was like, "I'll try," and then that just kind of like progressed. And then my senior year of college, I showed some of my buddies like my music, and they were like, "This is good, but it's like bad quality." And I was like,
those are some true friends.
"Yeah, no, they're
Right.
really good friends."
Like, yo, you sound good, but whoever's engineering you.
Yeah. And like I was like, "What you talking about? I'm grinding." And he was like, "No, like you need to like actually try." And literally the next day, I took out like half of my savings, rented out a studio, and then that's when LuvAbstract kind of came about. So it just clicked. Like it was just all right. I'm about to really try.
And you've done some performing too at some shows, right?
Yeah.
What's it like to perform your songs?
It's a lot of fun. Like outside of music, I kind of stage myself and like I don't like big crowds of people and like LuvAbstract I guess is like my superhero character. And like it's my opportunity to like just get out there and actually kind of be free and kind of interact with people. So yeah.
I feel it. Do you remember the first album you ever bought?
Speakerbox Love Below.
Wow. I have no idea
Well,
what that is, but it sounds
Outkast?
interesting. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yes.
I totally forgot. My
I was
bad.
like, whoa.
My bad. I'm sorry. See, mine was College Dropout, and I was 9, and I wasn't allowed to. So my older brother, he was like, "Look, just give me the $20 you got from cutting grass, and I'll just buy it for you." So
Yeah.
it was my money. I bought it. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, I kind of the same thing.
Right.
Like, do you guys like know that album and
Yes,
stuff?
I do
Not
now.
well enough, but I love
So,
Outkast. So
yeah.
anything with Outkast.
But it was like the exact same thing. Like the booklet inside of it, super inappropriate for a 10-year-old. I lied to my parents, but I got it, so we out here.
How would you describe your music to someone who has never heard it before?
That's actually kind of a struggle that like my team is having, and like a lot of blogs, they don't really know where to pinpoint me. But like we are kind of going into.
Were you like stuck in limbo between where?
Yeah, it's like electro pop and alternative pop type deal. That's where people are kind of saying, but yeah, it's kind of difficult right now to kind of figure that out.
But how would you describe it?
I guess yeah, alternative pop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely like the sound structure of commercial pop,
Mm-hmm.
but I like the in-depthness of alternative music and deeper kind of music and writing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Well, we have our next song coming up. It's called Risk. Tell us a
Oh,
little bit
yeah.
about that song. When did that come out?
That came out like almost a year and a half ago, and it's pretty much all of my music is about like things that I've experienced or like seen, and this is about me seeing a guy and a girl at a bar, and like just like hitting it off
that
and
makes
everything.
a lot of
and
sense.
yeah, and it was me saying like I wonder what their conversation is like right now. So yeah,
Your sound on that kind of reminds me of like some of the Weeknd's production too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks. Well, coming up next is Risk. Once again, this is Late Night Local Talent with your girl DJ Stasia, DJ King Simba.
Yeah.
You can find Love Abstract's music on all social media and music platforms. If you got Spotify, if you got Apple Music,
Google it. It's
on
out there.
SoundCloud too, I'm sure. Anyway, here is Risk by Love Abstract on the hottest college radio station, 88.1.
I said, girl, I got options and a few offers. Got a full roster. So what you bringing to the table? And she said, you really ain't impressing me. Go and check my resume. I'm getting calls every day. So what you bringing to the table? She's gonna risk it all right now. And I can feel that all right now. She just needs somebody. I just want her body. What we gonna do right now? So let's cash out, go all in. Cash out, go all in. Cash out, go all in. And go back to my apartment. Cash out, go all in. Cash out, go all in. Cash out, go all in. And go back to my apartment. And she said, let me hit my friends, let them know I'm good, and tell them where you stay, and babe, I'll meet you back at the table. And I said, let me hit a Uber, tell them what bar, to what hood, and baby girl, I'll be waiting at the table. She's gonna risk it all right now, and I can feel that all right now.
Campus College radio station 88.1. You are now tuned in to Late Night Local Talent, where we're here to support all kinds of local artists and their music. And today we have a very special guest in, pop artist from our very own Akron, Ohio. LuvAbstract is in the building, here to promote his single, Centerfold.
Centerfold, I love them all.
And we just played Risk as well. And if you guys missed that, don't forget you can always hit our lineup 330-972-8888 to request either Centerfold, Risk, or any other music that we have by LuvAbstract.
Also, you spell his name LuvAbstract, because once again, I see a lot of y'all trying to look that up and getting confused. So it's LuvAbstract.
Yeah.
All right, so one question I really wanted to ask you, Mr. Abstract, sir.
Call me
Abstract.
Love, please.
Yeah.
Call me Love.
My bad. Okay. Love. Okay, so you said earlier, well, Anastasia said earlier that, you know, people automatically assume that you do R&B and rap, and that's mainly because you're black.
Yeah.
And so you probably run into that problem because you do alternative pop music, so that people like will automatically say, oh, you're trying to be white, or like trying to like sell out to the white audience. So like, what is it like being a black alternative pop artist? Because you really don't see a lot
I can't
of
really
you.
mention too many. I mean, other than, was The Weeknd considered probably
Yeah,
pop?
I would argue like
Yeah.
Yeah.
R&B pop. Yeah,
Yeah, but at the
definitely.
same time, like he still did like R&B. He still did joints with Future. He still did joints
And
with
yours
Drake.
is more
Right.
like on the electronic pop.
Right.
Right.
So like, what's that like being a black alternative pop artist and like going really hard at it? Because it can't really be easy. Like,
Yeah, so I guess I'll just kind of back up that question, and like that's kind of been a like reoccurring thing in my life completely.
I mean, because like black artists have always done pop records, but like never their whole
like they're
genre
pursuing
was
pop, and no, like my entire life I've just been myself. Like I am a black man, 100% black, not mixed or whatever. What up, y'all? And Wakanda forever. But yeah, I just always been myself. And like whenever I would go out, people would be like, "Oh, you're trying to be white. You're trying to do this. You're not really black or whatever." And the way that like I kind of like combated that was just doubled down on like being me. Like you can tell me whatever you want about who you think I am, but that's not gonna change the fact that like in high school I was skateboarding, I was in show choir, I was in speech and debate. Like I don't care, and that's kind of the same thing that I did with my music. And you can tell me whatever you want about my music. If you think it's bad or whatever, I'm gonna still keep on making music. I'm still gonna keep on doing this, and you can either accept me or still get frustrated that I'm not falling into the box that you're trying to put me in.
you know, it's crazy that you said that, because me and Anastasia had that conversation before you even came in the room about something I was going through. So like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how it just came full. So didn't you just tell me that earlier?
Yeah,
She
man.
be
Like it's just
dropping knowledge, yo.
Be
it's
yourself.
like for real. It's like be yourself, and that's so much cooler
And
than
it's
like
so much
thinking,
easier to
Yeah.
be yourself than try to be someone else.
Exactly.
Right.
It's
That's exactly what she gave me a whole 5-minute speech about that. 7
Yeah.
straight.
What's the end goal of really making music for you?
Take over the world.
take over the world, blow up and act like I don't know nobody. No. No, one of the things that I want to do with music, and when I first started getting into it and kind of doing it at a higher level, was figure out how people go from in their basement to being The Weeknd.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I got a degree in marketing, so like I studied.
Shout out to marketing.
Hey,
gang,
that's,
gang.
hey, that's my
Gang,
minor.
gang.
Consumer
Yeah.
marketing.
There we go.
We don't sell a product. We tell a story. Rule 101.
Ooh, okay.
We don't
place
sell a product, we
promotion.
sell value.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Feel me?
feel you, man.
Yeah, you got that degree. Yeah, he graduated.
She got it. It's in the house. It's hanging on the wall.
But yeah, no, like I study like how these artists like do what they like do and everything, and there's like this weird buffer in which like something just exponentially happens to push them to the next level. Pretty sure I figured out what it was, but I kind of had that like drive to figure it out, and like that was like one of my original goals. But now that it's kind of falling into place and everything. My next goal is to ultimately just be a writer. I would absolutely love to
Like
write
for others?
other artists. I would love to write the music for TV shows and stuff.
Oh,
like,
that would be awesome.
not necessarily
That'd be
like not like theme songs and everything, but
Right.
like in the show. Like you
Right.
know how like they
Like
will
when they say a line, be like, "I can't believe she's pregnant." Nah, nah, nah,
yeah, or
nah,
like they'll
that.
like turn on TV in the show and like they have
Have
a
a
cartoon
song?
going, like stuff like that. I
That's
would absolutely
awesome.
love to
That's the
write
one
for
of the
those.
ordinary.
Yeah, I mean, like it's cool because it's like not a lot of pressure within the music industry to like write
To be-
for
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So that gives me freedom to like experiment and stuff, because if it's not that great, it's like 2 seconds on a TV show.
But I feel like
Like-
writers don't get that much credit. So would you be okay writing songs for someone who would have an absolute hit, but I mean they would essentially be taking all the credit for it?
He
I
be
mean,
taking all the
Does
money.
that
I'm
not-
gonna
Right,
get
that's
mine
true.
though.
You get
feel
it.
me? I'm gonna
Taking
get
all the
mine.
money in your
No, but
pocket.
like I would love to be like, you know, mega famous or whatever, and like that would be cool. But like I want to be a writer. And like I don't necessarily well, I mean I want to pay all my bills on my own
absolutely.
and stuff, but like I don't really care that much. I just want to like figure out how to get into this industry at an optimal level and just do what I specifically want to do, which
Who do
is
you
write.
feel like as an artist, who would you definitely see yourself writing for?
Have you heard of Quinn 93,
Yes.
92?
Yes.
I
those?
haven't.
Yes.
Have you heard of Lauv?
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. Let's see. Bassy?
Yes.
I would love to
Bazzi?
write
Bazzi, yeah.
Bazzi,
like,
mine.
Anna,
Bazzi.
Yeah,
yeah,
Bazzi, yeah.
Bazzi. Yeah, and just anybody that wants that work, you feel me?
Absolutely.
No, I just want to write.
Writing is actually really smart because you know there's a lot more money in writing than there is in singing. Like for example, like some of the greatest songs that are written by R&B artists or just artists period weren't written by them. Case in point, you know that song "Irreplaceable" by Beyonce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess who wrote it? Neo.
Really?
Nia wrote that
doesn't
record.
surprise me. Not one bit.
You know "Let Me Love You" by Mario?
Yeah.
Nia wrote that one too.
Neo just pocketing that writing
Right,
money
he
in,
did. Like
too.
but that's how we got on. Like when he's talking about writing, like he wrote for like 7 years before he put out an album of his own. Like he was writing for everybody.
Now, something that I feel, if you really want to get to know a person without really actually knowing them, I
what's
feel
that?
like you should look at their social media.
Ooh.
Or better yet, their Twitter.
Ooh.
Oh no.
So we
Twitter
gonna go
shows
and
who
get
you
into
really
some
are.
Twitter files.
We're
so
gonna dive into my Twitter.
I'm
We're
gonna
diving
pull
into
up
some Twitter files.
some Twitter things that I found here. Yeah, don't go back and deleting them.
I'm
'cause
not
I
gonna
already
delete it.
You
already
said it.
screenshotted these.
I'm about to like just
So
look at what I'm saying.
I'm gonna mention a tweet and you kind of like
God.
explain it for me. So one thing that you said, this was probably like last year. Yeah, I dove deep.
What?
You said, I like to think of semi-trucks as road dragons.
I hate semi trucks. Yo,
Road dragons.
semi trucks make me so nervous on the road. You don't understand how fast I will speed past a semi truck. I hate
Yeah.
semi truck. I hate being behind them. I hate being like next to them because like when they change lanes and stuff, like you don't know how far. Oh, I hate.
But how do you
semi-trucks.
get road dragons out of trucks?
Okay, so they're super long, right? And they're loud, and the front of them are dragon-esque.
That's
like,
true.
I think I was driving to Philly for a show, and like I was just bored out of my mind, and I was like, I saw it. I'm like, yep, that's
a
a road
dragon.
dragon. Yeah.
All right, you also have this one that you said. You said, I had my keys in my hand. The keys were in my hand. I specifically made sure my keys were in my hand. I told my hand to hold my keys. I told the keys not to leave my hand. Now that I leave, the keys disappear from my hand. Everything is a lie. I hate the world. I relate on that just on such a deep level because let me tell you, like, I will search far and clear, like as soon as I need to leave the house, and it's especially when I'm late. I'm already running late, 10 minutes late. Now I gotta spend an extra 5 to 10 minutes to
Yeah,
figure
man.
out where my keys are.
I was really mad that day.
You know,
Like,
here's what I hate is like when you're searching for something and it's in your pocket and you tearing your bed up and then like cause I was looking for my phone and I was upset because I really wanted to go somewhere and like I called an Uber and I was going to a girl's house but like I went over there and like the Uber called me and it was in my pocket and I was like yo I was so mad but I was so relieved at the same time.
Okay.
Yo, I still don't have my Roku remote. Like I cleaned my room one day
It's
and
a
like I
goner.
couldn't find it. Like I drove all
Yeah.
around town
It's in
to
the
find
dark
it.
abyss.
It's
Who
gone.
knows?
Back.
It's
Yeah.
probably on the other side of the world.
Houses swallow things is what we're trying to say.
That's true. yeah.
Exactly.
That's what that tweet means.
So how about this? You also tweeted, I wish
Everything is
Doodle Bob was real. We'd be good friends.
Yeah, me and Doodle.
Doodle Bob?
You know Doodle Bob?
You-
From SpongeBob? Yeah, I would kick it with him.
Kids
Like,
today will never know.
he doesn't talk, which is cool because like I can
That's the
just
best
take
kind of
charge
friend.
and like he's super aggressive, so he can defend me. So basically, I want
That's a lot
Doodle
of
Bob.
trouble you're asking for.
He'll be my bodyguard. It's basically what I'll say.
He would
Like,
not be a good bodyguard,
he
let me
would.
tell you. That he'd be like the perfect person to get you in trouble.
No, or he would stop trouble. Like, think about it. Like, you're gonna try to start stuff with me, and then a cartoon character with a pencil
That's true.
starts chasing after you. You're not gonna mess with me.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, exactly. I
But
wouldn't
like
mess
if
with
he
me.
would start trouble like hey Doodle Bob he trying to raise
Doodle
my arm
Bob.
man.
All right, here's the last one. You said, I can guarantee you that I will never lose a round of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Are you a Fortnite king?
I am not. I will never play a game of Fortnite, so I can never lose.
Oh, I'm about to say.
I'm undefeated.
I was about to challenge you. I was like, you don't want this work.
I am undefeated at Fortnite, technically.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up for today's interview. Once again, this is Late Night Local Talent with your girl Stasia, also DJ King Simba.
Yeah.
You can catch our Late Night Local Talent every Monday at this time. And also, if you'd like to submit music, all you got to do is submit it to latenightLocalTalent@gmail.com. We're going to play one more track here by LuvAbstract. And where can they find your music and all your social media again?
At LuvAbstract, everywhere. Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just Google LuvAbstract and you'll find it.
I was really hoping you would say the internet again.
The internet.
Like, yeah, just go outside, look up.
Just look up. You'll see me.
You'll see me.
And
I'm out here.
You can also easily access those tracks by just calling up and requesting this local artist's music. Once again, we're going to have Driveway up here. We're also going to have Risk and his brand new single, Centerfold.
I love your flaws.
Speaking of which, here is Driveway coming up next on the hottest college radio station, Z 88.1.
This ain't a sticker, this ain't a shakedown, this ain't a heist now, this ain't a ransom, this ain't a sticker, but since we pulled up, let's turn the lights down. Maybe we can share.